Hello folks, I'm Alex, this is Alex Unabridged, and this is the quarter year crisis tag. So welcome back to the channel if that is the case. Yes, a quick one today because I was tagged in the quarter year crisis book tag this morning by Book Chat with Pat, this was the original tag was created by Roisin's Reading, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But yes, it is the last day of April today, so I thought I'd better act fast and get on this one quick, because this obviously is referring to the first quarter of the year, which ended in March. So I thought I'd get this out today, and then I'm still at least it's out in April. And before we get into May and June, before you know it, we're going to be at the, what's it called, the mid-year freakout book tag. In July. So let's crack straight on with these questions then. So how many books have you read so far? In terms of up until the end of March, so up until the end of the first quarter, I read 29 books in those first 3 months, plus one that I didn't finish, so one DNF. If you want to count April as well, then it's 39 books and 2 DNFs. Prompt number 2, have you already found a book you think might be a 2024 favourite? If not, what's the best book you've read so far this year? Yes, I think I've probably found a favourite. Something's going to have to do a lot to top this one, and that is Lanny by Max Porter. It might be another Max Porter that tops it, I don't know. But yeah, so far this one is streaks ahead as my favourite book of the year so far. Another one that I did particularly like though, and just got beat out by Lanny, was A Prayer for the Crown Shy, which is the second in the Monk and Robot series by Becky Chambers. I love both this one and the previous one, A Psalm for the Wild Built. But yeah, those two are my favourites so far, I think. Prompt number 3 then is any 1-star books or the least favourite book of the year. Yeah, no 1-star books. I rarely end up giving 1 star, because if I really didn't like it that much, I've probably not finished it. So yeah, no 1 stars. Least favourite for the first quarter was Artemis by Andy Weir. Thoroughly disappointed with that one because I love Project Hail Mary and I really enjoyed The Martian, and Artemis is just nowhere close to the same level for me. It just wasn't very good. So yeah, Artemis by Andy Weir. What is my prompt number 4 then? What is my most read genre so far? It's level pegging between horror and science fiction. At the end of March, I'd read 11 of each, and we're still level pegging even at this point now at the end of April. I've pretty much kept it on par between those two genres, and I'm loving them both. I already knew I loved horror, but science fiction is definitely up there with favourites as well now. Okay, prompt number 5 is a book that surprised you. I think probably the biggest surprise for me was Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke, which I read as part of my big old science fiction project, reading, trying to get into classic science fiction. And it wasn't that I didn't expect to like this. I was a bit I had a bit of trepidation going in, because I wasn't sure that it was going to be my cup of tea, but I was very open-minded with it. But I was very surprised at just how much I enjoyed it. It is one of the best that I've read so far this year, up there with Lanny and A Prayer for the Crown Shy. Yeah, I was surprised at how much not just I enjoyed it, but how much I got out of it, how much it made me think, how much it stayed with me afterwards. Yeah, really great book, and how much it's kind of like really made me excited about reading more Arthur C. Clarke. Okay, prompt number 6 is a book that's come out already in 2024 that you want to read but haven't yet. I looked at my kind of, wish list of stuff, and there is only one that's come out, I think, in 2024 that I have access to, so out in the UK, that is. And that is A History of the World in 12 Shipwrecks by David Gibbons, who is an underwater archaeologist. And this covers the sort of, where it looks at kind of, human history and the spread of humans, etc., all that kind of stuff, through various different shipwrecks. And it covers things like the Viking warship of King Canute, Henry VIII's Mary Rose, Captain Sir John Franklin's doomed HMS Terror and Erebus, the SS Gaia Sopper, I assume that's how you pronounce it, which was destroyed by a Nazi U-boat in the Atlantic during World War II. Yeah, I really like the sound of that. I found that after I'd finished reading The Terror by Dan Simmons, which is, of course, kind of historical fiction and horror about the HMS Erebus and Terror. And yeah, I kind of thought, oh, that sounds interesting, some actual history on, HMS Terror. And I do like maritime history. It is one of those. And with doing Historathon this year as well, I've kind of got back into sort of history reading a little bit. And so, yeah, so that one's on the list for at some point. But yeah, no, that's only just come out beginning of this year. So that one will probably wait for a while. Okay, prompt number 7 then is one goal you made that you're succeeding at. Getting into science fiction, properly giving science fiction, particularly classic science fiction, a go, hence my big old projects, Science Fiction for the Somewhat Hesitant. That was designed to make me hit that and not, be too hesitant or equivocate and kind of not really read stuff. Actually just, block it into my schedule and get it read. And I'm glad I've done that. I'm on track with it and I'm loving it so far. So yeah, hitting that goal for sure. And the other one, which is kind of book related, is I had a goal to kind of write consistently, come up with a consistent writing practice for my own stuff. And so I can, kind of get better and gain confidence in it. And so far I've been hitting that. I've had to adjust it a bit because of time and stuff, but I have been writing pretty much every day, even if it's only an hour. It's about doing something every day, whether that's a little bit of editing for an hour, whether that's actually some prose writing, whether that's some planning, whatever it is, doing something in the writing sphere every day. And yeah, so I've done that, and it's great. I'm absolutely loving it. Okay, prompt number 8 is one goal that you made that you need to focus on. Not overfacing myself with TBRs, and just generally chilling out a bit about BookTube from my own perspective, in terms of, content that I'm making and stuff. I've not been good at that. I've tried to put in, place a bit more of a plan to kind of reduce the amount that I'm reading so that I'm not overfacing myself and, just taking it a bit slower, things like that. And it's not worked particularly well because I'm me. And I get all excited about things and excited about events and I can't help myself. So yeah, I do still need to do that, and particularly coming up, sort of over the summer, I've got some busier work periods coming up. I've got other stuff that I need to kind of factor in life-wise, things like that. So I am going to have to come up with a new plan that will actually enforce a little bit more of a chilled approach to some of my BookTube stuff. I'll still be here and I'll still be making content, but it's just about taking my own pressure off myself. It's all my pressure, but yeah, that's something I just need to chill. I just need to chill out and just not try and do everything at once, which that's easier said than done because it means breaking a habit of a lifetime. Okie dokes. Prompt number 9 then is some new to you booktubers or bookstagrammers or booktokers for 2024 that you recommend. I don't do Bookstagram or BookTok. Booktubers, I mentioned a couple the other day in a Stay Gold tag, so I won't go over old ground with that. One person that I can't remember whether I found him on like right at the beginning of 2024 or possibly right at the end of 2023. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll mention him anyway because he's got a great channel, and that's Bart's Bookspace. Yeah, really big science fiction reader, reads loads of classic stuff and loads of modern stuff. Reads horror and stuff as well. You know, it's not just science fiction, but it's predominantly science fiction that he goes for. But I just really like his, I really like his style of presentation and stuff. He's very very easy to listen to. Good production values, and yeah, just an all-round lovely chap who reads a lot of interesting books and has some great opinions on them. So I always enjoy tuning in to hear what he's made of the most recent science fiction reads. So check out Bart's Bookspace. Okie dokes, the final prompt is to tag some people. I won't do that because, as I say, we're at the end of April now. The first quarter is done, and I've seen this around a lot, this tag. I've watched quite a few of them from folks, so I'm not entirely sure who has and hasn't done it. If you still fancy doing it and you haven't, and you're watching this, then you're tagged. But otherwise, yeah, I won't tag anybody specifically. So there we go, folks. Those are my answers to the quarter year crisis book tag. Thanks again to Pat for tagging me in this one. Yes, that's just a little bonus video from me today. I hadn't planned to push anything out. I will be back on Friday though with my my review of The Drowned World by J.G. Ballard. A bit more science fiction for you. So yes, but thank you very much for watching, folks. As always, drop your thoughts in the comments. It's always lovely to hear from you. But from me, for now, that's ta-ra.